Next up is our Fireside chat with Erai Beckman, founding partner of ZDKL, and Sam Borgi from CoinTelegraph. Please welcome them up to the stage.
Well, that was a fantastic video.
Thank you.
Erai, it's great to be with you. And the focus today is going to be on global trade or global payments.
Yeah.
But before we get there, I wanted to pick your brain on some other topics related to ZDKL. When I was doing some research into the company, I realized that you're built on a proof of work model. And it's not every day you see a new layer one building on a POW model. So kind of walk me through what you learned from Bitcoin and why you decided to perhaps go the more cumbersome route and launch a POW chain.
Yeah, it's a great question. Thanks for starting off with that, Sam. So first of all, how many of you are here today in the audience? Just so I can see a show of hands. How many are here? Okay, just a few of you. That's good. That's more than usual. So thanks everybody for being here. So a proof of work model, you know, Bitcoin is the OG, right? They started the whole thing. Proof of work, really, we feel it allows for trust. The problem is it wasn't a very efficient model, right? So we worked very hard and diligently, and we now are able to present, for the last 4 years we worked on this project, incubated by researchers and academics at 2 universities in Southeast Asia. Now we're able to present one of the world's first fully AI integrated, super efficient proof of work models that will actually allow everyone in the audience, if you guys want to go to zdkl.online, you can download the wallet, and your wallet on your laptop and computer will be a node. So actually we chose to go that model, but we chose to improve upon the efficiencies because the proof of work model, right, allows for it not to be centralized and really gives the power and the freedom back to humanity, ultimately, in our opinion.
So then walk me through your ZDKL. Walk me through what it means and what your goals are.
Thank you. So ZDKL represents the archangel of freedom, justice, and forgiveness for humanity. He's been around for thousands of years from Abrahamic traditions. We're having quite a bit of fun, obviously. He looks super badass. And the reality is that we believe that Web3 is actually still inspiring. I know a lot of the market, the more that you've been around, the more you've seen quite a bit of pump and dump, quite a bit of rug pulls, and that's not instilling a lot of confidence, obviously. But with Peace Through Trade Chain, we still see the power that Web3 has for humanity. Now, we spent the last 4 years adhering to the laws, the rules, the regulations of Singapore, and I'm happy to announce that we actually have been approved for our first license in Singapore. And so we see Peace Through Trade Chain as a legal way. Obviously, people can adapt and onboard. And we see commerce being able to go all throughout humanity, God willing, uplifting humanity, bringing us to a new paradigm.
Well, since we're talking about the global flow of goods and trade, we're obviously in a very different trade environment today with protectionism south of the border really defining the politics of the day. Kind of explain to me what your hope is for Web3 and blockchain technology to revolutionize or change global payment systems. I mean, stable coins are one example. We've talked a lot about stable coins today. They're less than 10% of the crypto market cap, but they account for the vast majority of the transactions. So kind of walk me through what you're inspired by from Web3, blockchain, and how that's going to facilitate global movement of goods and trade.
Thank you for that. Yeah, well, so the whole space right now, we feel like we probably should be mature as a space, right? But the reality is, because regulation has still been in development, the whole industry is relatively still moving from unregulated to regulated. So I actually think that we're going to see, first and foremost, the solutions now that are pursuing legal regulation. I think that we're going to see them getting the most adoption. I think we're actually probably going to see a big shuffle throughout the industry of who will now become the global marketplace dominant players. In our case, we envision ZDKL as being the Bitcoin for small businesses, because anyone now can grab the easy mobile wallet app, anyone can grab the e-commerce API app and plug it into their store, and slowly but surely around the world, we can now encourage more of humanity to do more trade with each other, faster, inexpensively, and with Web3 now, we have that technology.
Absolutely. Well, since you mentioned regulation, I know that you and I have had career stops in the legal marijuana industry. You know, Canada was one of the first countries in the G7 to legalize marijuana. I know you've had a hand of play in Brazil and crafting legislation in Brazil. And I don't bring up marijuana because I want to talk about the industry per se, but both the marijuana industry and blockchain are known for being opaque regulatorily. So what have you learned from your experience in that industry, and how does that apply to blockchain?
Yeah, it's a great question. So my wife and I, who's actually in the audience, we are responsible for having helped write the laws and the regulation and legalizing CBD and marijuana medically for the country of Brazil. And that was a big deal. The company of ours at the time received a multi-billion-dollar pre-IPO valuation. And so what we learned was that if you can actually be in the right place with the rules and the regulations, it allows for the legal on-ramp. Now, I know there's a huge proponents towards fully decentralized. I would imagine if we asked for a show of hands from the audience, how many people have lost money in decentralized tools or solutions? I am one of those. So the problem is, I would never recommend my parents to put their money on a fully decentralized solution. They're harder, life savings. So the regulatory environment, it just allows for safety. It allows for accountability. And when you have accountability, you can have auditing. And when you have auditing, you have validation. And when you have that, God willing, the goal for the future is you have insurance. And it provides a stable, safe foundation.
So why Singapore then in that case? I know that you set up shop there. What does Singapore offer that perhaps no one else does, or what attracted you to Singapore?
Yeah, well, Singapore, I don't know how many of you have been there, but it is an amazing country. It's immaculately clean. And what's most amazing about Singapore is it's a real melting pot for multicultural commerce. And it's arguably, in my opinion now, one of the world's leading financial markets. Their regulations when it comes to blockchain and Web3 are very, very progressive. So when we realized that America, I'm Canadian, and Canada still had some regulatory work to go, we started setting up shop to adhere to the MAS rules with this project from inception. And like I was sharing, it's very cool to report that we've been approved for our first legal license. So in the future, you'll be able to buy tokenized real-world assets with ZDKL coin from your ZDKL wallet. And the really cool thing about that is we have some amazing partners there in Singapore, like one of the world's largest gold and silver vaults. And the real comfort for it that I'm excited about is your tokens now, when you're getting tokenized gold or silver, you can actually know that they're actually vaulted, it's actually audited, it's real, and it's 100% insured. And I think that stability, when you think about it, like ZDKL's the Bitcoin for small business, and we're really hoping to empower humanity, content creators as well. If you check out the website, we have some very cool things coming for social media, content creators, and even global marketplace. But how cool will it be when you actually know that the gold or silver token or coin that you're holding in your wallet is actually 100% verified to be in a vault and it's fully insured? Like, what kind of feeling versus what's currently out there in the market does that give you?
Very good. No, that's excellent. It's what you need, right? Yeah. So, I mean, we are in Canada. We're both Canadian. Yeah, you went off to Singapore to establish your business. What does Canada need to do to bring people like you back? And do you have any plans on potential coming back to Canada, or at least expanding operations here?
Yes, absolutely plans to set up an office here and expand operations. And I think we're already doing a good job regulatorily from what I've observed and what I can see. And I think we just need to keep pushing the legislative regulatory efforts. We really need to push it. And we can contact old school, our MPs. We can write them. We can host events. We can continue to educate them on how important it is. And at the end of the day, as Canada can, continue its regulatory efforts, we can get better licensing in place. That'll really, kind of open the floodgates for obviously the industry that clearly so many Canadians really want in full force.
Fantastic. So we are right now. It looks like the bull market is returning in crypto. Markets are up quite a bit today, and I think that's an omen of things to come. A lot of the doomers told us a few months ago that it was all over, but those of us who've been around the cycles know better. What are you excited about in terms of what you're seeing in the market now, over the next few months, next year, and how does that align with what you're doing?
Well, I am excited about ZDKL. It's a utility coin, so there's no guarantees. There's always a risk. And FYI, it's available for pre-sale now. You guys can check out our booth at the back of the hall, scan the QR code. We just sold out of the $1 per coin lot. We're now at $2. There's only 500,000 coins available, then it goes to 3, and we'll continue to go through these lots between now and our ICO this year. So I am excited about that because this project has been done properly. It followed the regulatory path. It waited 4 years before going to market. It has the right partners. And being someone that was born and raised in finance, it's really comforting actually to see real, legitimate blockchain projects done properly going to market. I think we're all sick and tired of rug pulls and pump and dumps, and we believe in the validity of the technology. So projects done properly, like ZDKL and Peace Through Trade, I believe will really help legitimize the space. And to answer your question about helping regulatory efforts, that's what government officials need to see. They need to see people that are properly doing it, they're following the laws, right? They don't like hearing the horror stories of people that have lost their funds in a fully decentralized solution and there's no recourse, right? They want to know that what they can have can actually allow for global peace through trade, right? Global commerce at the highest levels. And I'm proud to say that the team here has done an incredible job, and ZDKL is that.
So talk me more about the ICO. When is that going to be launched, and is that based also in Singapore as well? Because I know ICO laws have been pretty dicey over the last, probably since 2017, right?
Yeah, it's a great question. So the IEO date is not yet set, so make sure to follow us on Telegram and X and join the community. Now it's a point where we get to come together as a community and make something happen, which I think is pretty cool. And you'll stay tuned there, and we'll be announcing the dates. But the goal is that we have an IEO initially, because it's a layer 1, right? 53% of these coins are locked for mining rewards. But the goal is not too far in the distant future, we're going to have an IEO, and then from there, we'll announce the ICO.
2025 is the time to celebrate. You know, if you survive 2022 that year, then you have a lot to be happy about. That's all that I have.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Sam, and thank you everybody here at Futurist.